Harry Potter described his friendship with one of his two best friends, Hermione Granger, as akin to a sister. Hermione was fiercely loyal and protective of Harry, frequently being annoyed at her friend's hero complex at the risk of his safety. But instead of falling in love with Ginny and Ron respectively, what if Harry and Hermione fell in love? How would this change events in the world of Harry Potter? As you are about to see, a lot changes. We're going to start events just after the 4 champions have been decided for the Triwizard Tournament, given that for the previous 3 years, Ron had shown very little signs of any romantic feelings towards Hermione. Furthermore, Ginny was still getting over the stage of being in awe of Harry's hero status, and was too nervous to speak to him. The morning after his row with Ron, Harry sends a letter to Sirius at Hermione's request, asking him what to do next, whilst coping with the whole school's hatred towards him, as they believed him to be an attention seeker. Hermione is the only one permanently by his side, but doesn't want any part of getting involved between Harry and Ron's childish argument. However, here is where events change. Later that night, Harry is in the Gryffindor common room, brooding over the fact that the school believed he put his name in the Goblet of Fire. Suddenly, he hears a pop in the fireplace, along with a few coughs, as his godfather Sirius Black appeared. To Harry's disgust, Sirius is smiling at him, as if nothing was wrong. Before Harry could chide Sirius for his recklessness, Sirius silences Harry, and with a wink, tells him that Hermione is the key, before disappearing again. Harry is even more annoyed. Why did everyone have to give complicated clues rather than direct answers? Harry thought angrily to himself. Waking up the next morning in a moody state, Harry went to the Great Hall, contemplating what Sirius had said to him. Sitting as far away as possible from Ron and the taunting Slytherins, he sees Hermione, who as usual, has her eyes buried in a book. Perhaps Sirius was right. He would need Hermione to get through this difficult period. The events of the first task remain the same, with Harry getting past the dragon to claim the egg, and Ron apologising for not believing him. However, due to Harry appreciating Hermione's continual support a lot more, he returns the favour by supporting her feelings of concern about the welfare of the elves, and subsequently asks her to be his dance partner at the Yule Ball. This reignites Ron's fury at Harry, and he resumes his sulky mood. Rita Skeeter, of course, catches on to this piece of news, causing the Slytherins in particular to taunt Hermione. Ron's jealousy continues to heighten, as he uses every possible opportunity to excoriate Harry, despite Fred and George ironically asking him to grow up. Professor Moody had also had enough, and after a particularly gruesome defense against the dark arts lesson, asked to talk to Ron alone. Harry saw Ron much less often after that. Not much changes throughout the year with Ron's absence from the duo, except that Mrs. Weasley does not arrive to see Harry for the first task. Only Bill. Bill informs Harry that there's been a divide in the Weasleys caused by Ron, as they debated if Harry was worth the trouble. Mrs. Weasley, being protective of her children, didn't want Harry to be near her children anymore, alongside Ron and Percy. Fred, George, Bill and Charlie were supportive of Harry, having seen him save Ginny in the Chamber of Secrets, and could not understand why Ron was being so downbeat. Ginny, meanwhile, was on the fence, grateful that Harry had saved her life in her first year, but found it difficult to shake off her feeling of jealousy, aimed at the person she regarded as an older sister in Hermione. As the third task finally arrived, the crowd heckled Harry as he approached the start of the maze. It appeared as if Ron's efforts to get the score against Harry had been successful to an extent. Entering the maze, he uses all of his knowledge shared by Hermione to navigate his way through, rescuing Cedric along the way. Touching the cup, the duo entered the graveyard in Little Hangleton. As in canon, Harry is unable to save Cedric, and is tied and bound by Peter Pettigrew. As Pettigrew takes Harry's blood and summons Voldemort, Harry could sense something was amiss beyond the rise of Voldemort. There was a commotion and disagreement amongst the Death Eaters they had not seen at the Quidditch World Cup. Voldemort silenced them with a wave of his hand. Cycling through the line of Death Eaters, and occasionally dishing out a Cruciatus curse for his sadistic pleasure, he came across a hooded figure he had not come across before. The hooded figure merely stated he had come to eliminate Harry Potter, for he had been a thorn in his side more than even for Voldemort. Voldemort cackled and asked him to take a step forwards. The figure brandished his wand, and from the haze, Harry could make out that it was Willow. Surely it could not be him. How had he fallen so far? Harry thought to himself. Voldemort was confident that the young man in front of him did not possess the ability to kill, but if he wanted to join his ranks, he would give him the chance. The figure removed his hood, and to Harry's half surprise, it was Ron. Without hesitation, Ron lashed out and began to make cuts over his body, opening wounds Harry had sustained in the maze, as the Death Eaters laughed at his discomfort. If Ron couldn't be with Hermione, at least he would stop Harry. With one last look of hate, Ron unleashed a blasting curse into the tombstone above Harry's head, before he knew no more. That is it for what if Harry and Hermione fell in love. I can either end the story here, or make a part 2. I try to exaggerate Ron's jealousy as much as possible, and I think this would be the most extreme consequence. As always, please like this video and subscribe for more tips, and leave a comment on what if you'd like to see next. Thank you very much for watching, and see you next time.